Tina Fey, Colman Domingo, Will Forte, Marco Calvani, and Carrie Kenny Silver also star in the series remake of the 1981 film that starred Alan Alda, Carol Burnett, and Rita Moreno. No one's marriage is perfect, but Steve Carell's is particularly bad in the 4 seasons, so he does what any man would do. He starts dating his dental hygienist. In People's exclusive look at the upcoming Netflix series, which is a new take on the beloved 1981 film of the same name, Carell plays Nick, whose marriage to Anne, Carrie Kenny Silver, has come to an end, a revelation that sends shockwaves through his friend group. The series follows 3 pairs of couples, Nick and Anne, Kate, Tina Fey, and Jack, Will Forte, and Danny, Colman Domingo, and Claude, Marco Calvani, as the breakdown of Nick and Anne's marriage leaves the group of more than 30 years completely upended and trickles into each of the 4 vacations they take that year. In the trailer, Nick asks Jack, Forte, and Danny, "Are you guys happy?" To which Danny, Domingo, exasperatedly asks, "What kind of question is that?" The reason his and Anne's marriage fell apart seems pretty clear, as he describes their dynamic to his friends. "We sit in the same room monitoring different screens. We're like coworkers at a nuclear facility." It's a feeling that Kate Fey relates to somewhat, though. "I would love to go someplace alone and just read my phone, all the way to the end," she tells Danny. In Danny's terms, though, Kate's marriage to Jack can be summed up pretty easily. "You know those two. Complaining is their version of having sex," he tells his husband Claude, Calvani. Danny and Claude's relationship isn't perfect either, though. As he tells Kate, Claude lives in his own opera. This particular one is many hours long. Nick's daughter, Julia Lester, calls it how she sees it. "Dad, this feels like a basic midlife crisis," she tells him. Later, his estranged wife Anne defends him from their daughter's critiques, though she tosses in one of her own while she's at it. "Show your father some respect," Anne says, "even if he is wearing a tank top that you can see his nipples through." Still, he tells his daughter in the trailer, seemingly of him and his ex-wife, "We're just people, flawed people." Following his separation from Anne, Nick is seeing his dental hygienist Ginny, Erica Henningsen, who joins the friends on one of their trips, and who he reveals he's planning a trip to Burning Man with. In the trailer, Kate says she understands what her friend is doing, considering Ginny is young and hot, to which Jack aptly replies, "Don't see a ton of upside for me in answering that." The series, which Faye created and wrote alongside her 30 Rock friends Lang Fisher and Tracy Wakefield, is a love letter to long-term relationships, both platonic and romantic, in Faye's words. Because your life is ideally more than just the person you're married to. Sometimes when you are struggling with something with just your spouse, you need a group of friends to bring humor to it, she told Netflix's Tudum. Those friendships really help marriages, I think. Having a person who just fulfills a part of you that your spouse can't quite fulfill is very important. What we hoped for the show was to drive home this little perspective shift that if you just looked at your husband or your best friend in a certain light, it's like, "Oh, this is the most precious thing in my life," Wakefield said, and something that you should be grasping onto with both hands. Along with Lester, Ashlyn Maddox, Jacob Buccaneer, Taylor Ortega, Simone Recastner, Toby Edward Huss, Tommy Dew, Claude Trost, Jack Gore, and Cole Tristan Murphy also guest star in the series, which is a remake of the 1981 film that starred Alan Alda, Carol Burnett, and Rita Moreno.